Sustainable Business Exhibition is on and back. It's become an annual event now. This year it's on the 9th of September between 10 and 4 at We the Curious in Millennium Square in Bristol. Carla Denyer, MP, co-leader of the Green Party, as a keynote speaker. So let's find out a little bit more about it. Katherine Piper is from Future Leap, who organised the festival, and tells us a little bit more about what it is.
So the Festival of Sustainable Business is really an attempt for us to accelerate sustainable business practices as fast as we can. So when I say sustainable business practices, I mean businesses thinking about their impact on the environment, their impact on the climate, on nature, and how they might be able to do things in a slightly different way to mitigate those impacts as best as they possibly can. Various different things that are happening at the festival to sort of facilitate that in effect.
And just give me a sort of a bit of a snapshot of what sort of things people can expect if they come along, because you've got a lot of different variety of things, haven't you?
Lots happening. Firstly, it's taking place on the 19th of September. It's happening at We the Curious and taking place in Millennium Square as well, and it's free to attend. So anybody is welcome to come along. We're expecting about 1,000 in attendance. We've got a big focus on buildings and how to retrofit buildings, just because a lot of the carbon that we put into the atmosphere is associated with the energy that we use in our buildings, then we're really trying to sort of focus on that and solutions to that, both for businesses and for individuals. And then another big hitter is the way in which we move about, so our transport. So we've got a big sustainable transport zone taking place in Millennium Square. So within that space, we've got test drives with Lexus, with Tesla. We also have various different electric vehicle solutions that are being showcased. We've even got an e-hearse that's going to be there showcased with a cardboard coffin that you can decorate.
There's a kind of a wider point here about potential of Bristol possibly missing its net zero targets here as well.
Yeah, Bristol was the first city in Europe to declare a climate emergency, which we should be really proud of, and we've set a target of 2030 to reach net zero. The article that was recently in the BBC News was about the fact that unless we do accelerate our activities, we will not meet that. We've only got 6 years remaining, so we really need to up our game.
There's Katherine Piper there from Future Leap. She mentioned there about retrofitting being one of the key aspects of the exhibition, and indeed of trying to keep our lives and things around us in our houses more environmentally friendly. Laura Barber is from Retrofit West, one of the sponsors of the exhibition, and tells me more.
So Retrofit is about upgrading an existing property to improve its energy efficiency, and that can range from DIY jobs like draft proofing, or improving your insulation, or installing renewable technologies like solar panels and heat pumps. So you can do it residentially or commercial properties as well, but at Retrofit West we focus on people doing it in their own homes, because 20 to 40% of our carbon emissions come from our buildings and the built environment. We really need to be focusing on trying to bring that down, and also making people's homes more comfortable, lowering their energy bills, and improving people's health mentally and physically.
So a lot of these things that you just mentioned are often quite simple things to do, Laura, as well. I think a lot of people think it's going to be a really difficult, complicated, tricky, expensive process, but actually some of the things are like sort of almost there under our noses sometimes. It's just that we don't realise it.
Absolutely. Broad spectrum, to be honest. So yeah, there's lots of things you can do really cheaply by yourself, and then there are obviously, if you're really into it, you want to make your home as energy efficient as possible, then you can go to the more disruptive and more expensive sort of things as well, but all of it will help in the long run.
Laura Barber then. Now, Steve Thomas is from the Ecoscheme, another of the festival sponsors, and I asked him who is eligible for retrofitting.
This has always been the bugbearer of the industry, really. Everyone qualifies in different schemes. We have Eco, which qualifies people who've got health conditions or they're on the foot version of benefits. You then have one called GBIS, which is a Great British Insulation Scheme, and everybody qualifies. It doesn't matter who you are on that one. It's 2/3 funded and 1/3 is contributed by the customer. You then have another scheme called the Boiler Upgrade Scheme, and that one there, everyone qualifies for that one, and you can get £7,500 to go towards a new air source heat pump. So there's a number of different schemes, but nobody, because there's so many of them, the information doesn't get out there correctly. We've got a number of different schemes that are available. And it's amazing how many people actually qualify. I think at the moment we're 90% of the people who have put an application in with ourselves are going ahead.
Aside from obviously saving costs, helping us around the house, it's also quite important for something like mental health as well, which I thought was quite interesting, Stephen.
It is. Running a household is not cheap. So your mental health is actually drained because you're always trying to make sure your bills are paid and everything else. So having your property insulated correctly, having the right ventilation helps, because then you're getting correct oxygen flow coming into the property, and oxygen is obviously great for the brain and your mental health in itself. And then you can also reduce your energy bills by having an air source heat pump, having solar fitted on the roof. By doing that, you've actually got a bit more money to spend and go away on that nice holiday that everyone wants.
Stephen Thomas there from the Ecoscheme. So there you go. If you fancy checking it out for yourself and finding out a little bit more, the Festival of Sustainable Business exhibition then on the 9th of September between 10 and 4. It's at We the Curious, Millennium Square. It is free to attend.